What was your biggest / most regrettable? It's not a phase, Mom. It's my life. That, in fact, turned out to be just a phase and not your life? Trenchcoat phase after I saw The Matrix. Turns out a goofy fucking 13-year-old doesn't look or feel as badass in one as Neo does. Edit, I was a sheltered kid in a sheltered town. I'd heard of Columbine but had not seen the video and had made no connection between the coat and the event. You gotta wear the sunglasses too. I would bet my next paycheck that OP had the glasses too. I have a real whopper. I loved anime as a teenager. This was in the 90s, so it wasn't that mainstream yet. Because I had no interest in anything else, I took a year of Japanese. Then because I still had no other ambition or interest, I signed up in the military to go to Japan. For 8 years. Got out, went to college, and because I still didn't know what I wanted to do, I studied Japanese. By this time, the interest in anime had worn off, but learning culture and history was cool. So, I went to college to learn Japanese. As a major. 6 goddamned years, a ton of core classes and not a single interest in any other thing. I was done with the Japanese language at that point, but because near the end, my class literally couldn't be run without me, I stayed. I stayed because I felt like it would be a waste if I changed it. Like everything I had done up to that point was a lie. Here I am with a degree in Japanese language / history and culture, and I'm not at all interested in it anymore. I'm looking for a real job, have been since I got out of college, but for now I work for a temp company for a Japanese air conditioning company. There was a time when I believed that I wanted to enter seminary and study for the priesthood. Mom said, "It's a passing fancy. You lead an intensely secular life and are only flirting with the idea because you enjoy time spent at church playing your organ as a lay person." She was right, but I wouldn't admit it at the moment. By my junior year in high school, the notion had passed. Did you at least continue playing the organ and shred Zone 6 solos though? Thanks for your comment, Onik Jangkok. Yes, I continued studying organ all through college and graduate school, making it my profession. The same thing happened to me. In my freshman year I got super into wanting to be a sister / nun and started getting really religious and studying to be one. My grandma and mom were so proud and told the whole church, including the priest. By the end of the year, I got confirmed and finally graduated CCD and didn't have to go every week anymore. By the fall of sophomore year I didn't want to be one anymore, but I am too scared to tell them because it will be embarrassing for our whole family. I didn't ask for them to tell everyone and now I'm stuck. Maybe I should just claim that God called me to do something else. After all, to them, God is always right. I was an altar boy for 12 years and knew a guy who was one for the same amount of time. He and I did a ton of church stuff together and he was super excited to go to seminary. Always wanted to be a priest. He got 2 years in and, during his theology studies, met a woman that he ended up falling in love with. He's now happily married and lives his life as a non-clergy Catholic. This dude was so close to being a priest and was already well into his education, but still decided to do what he felt was right with his life. His parents were nothing but supportive and our longtime pastor was overjoyed to hear that he found someone he loved so dearly. Suffice it to say, if you no longer feel called to be a sister, don't do it. If anyone in your family or your church gripes about it, they're not being good Christians. If God is no longer calling you in a certain direction, then you follow the other path. There is nothing wrong with that. Do your thing, friend, and know that God is happy when you're happy. Okay, now I need to share the wild story my priest told me, which is the opposite side of the fence. He said was engaged to this young woman, and as the day of their wedding drew closer he stared feeling unhappy, and felt he was really called to be a priest. When he finally got up the courage to tell her, she was excited and told him she had been feeling the call to become a nun. But by that point they were really afraid to tell their parents, who had planned for the day for so long, and they were part of this big Vietnamese community in the US, and they were afraid of the backlash from their parents' embarrassment or whatever. So they sat in their car watching everyone filing into the church for their wedding day, still trying to figure out how to tell them. I think they basically just left everyone else standing at the altar. When I was 16, I kept my hair dyed blue, and kept myself fairly busy earning money to keep buying the hair dye so it would stay that way. One summer, one of our cats, a gray and white one, had to have a leg amputated after being bitten by a snake, and I noticed that the skin beneath the fur was the same color, in the same pattern, as her fur had been. And it was just enough to pass idiot teenage muster. So, I shaved my head with the intention of getting my entire scalp tattooed blue, thinking that when my hair grew back in, it would be forever blue. I even found a tattoo guy willing to do the job, but only if an experimental square inch worked. I'm still blonde, but I do have a tattoo on my scalp that's just a blue square. My mother was too dumbfounded to say anything. And my stepdad just walked out onto the back porch to stare into the yard for a while. It was never brought up again once it was clear the experiment didn't work. I never dyed my hair again after that either. Edit, fantastic. My highest rated and most rewarded post is one about I was stupid enough to shave my head and get a tattoo because I tried to be a pre-2000 Ramona Flowers forever.